The filming atmosphere that day initially proceeded as usual. The crew was busy with the equipment, the director was focused on checking the monitor, and the actors were ready at their respective spots. But for some reason, the atmosphere slowly changed when Li Qin emerged from the makeup room in a costume that radiated her elegance. The light touched her face softly, causing everyone who saw her to automatically slow down their movements. They were used to seeing her beauty, but that day there was something different. Maybe because the scene was important, maybe because of the intensity of the script, or maybe because someone had been watching her for a long time. Someone named Chen Zheyuan. Chen Zheyuan was rereading the dialogue when his gaze reflexively caught Li Qin. His eyes followed her every move, but he tried to remain professional. However, his composure cracked in an instant when one of the costume staff approached Li Qin to fix a small detail on her collar. It was actually a very common thing in the filming process, nothing strange or wrong. But what happened next surprised the staff, the crew, and even Li Qin herself. Chen Zheyuan's gaze hardened in seconds, changing from calm to intense focus. He wasn't angry, but he was sharp enough that anyone who saw him could feel the pressure without him saying a word. His steps were slow but firm as he approached, and several staff members nearby immediately looked at each other, wondering what was going on. When he stopped right next to Li Qin and the staff who were helping her tidy up her costume, the atmosphere suddenly fell silent. Even the sound of the camera fan was clearly audible. Then, without raising his voice, Chen Zheyuan said in a deep, unquestionable tone, "I'll take care of her. Leave it to me." The words were simple, but the way he said them made the staff freeze instantly. There was respect, there was subtle pressure, and there was a message far deeper than simply replacing the staff's duties. The staff swallowed hard, smiled awkwardly, then backed away with a quick nod. No further explanation was needed. Everyone who saw the scene knew that Chen Zheyuan had just shown a protective attitude that he had never shown before. Li Qin was stunned. Her eyes widened slightly, her lips pressed tightly together, as if she didn't know how to react. Her face slowly turned red, not because of makeup or lighting, but because of the intense attention Chen Zheyuan was giving her. And when she realized that the staff was watching, she became even more uncomfortable because the situation felt like a romantic drama scene that happened to occur in the real world. But Chen Zheyuan seemed unaffected by anyone's gaze. He stood very close, taking over the small task as if it were the most natural thing in the world. His hands worked meticulously, more meticulously than the professional staff who handled it every day. He fixed the collar, tidied up the small ribbon, making sure every detail was perfect. There were no exaggerated movements. Everything was gentle, controlled, and very intimate. Some of the crew began to nudge each other, holding back their comments so they wouldn't be too obvious. Others just smiled broadly. There had been many rumors circulating among them about Chen Zheyuan and Li Qin's closeness, but no one had ever seen anything as clear as this. Until now, the two of them had always been very professional, even too professional to the point that it was difficult to tell whether they were really that close or not. But that day, Chen Zheyuan's attitude gave a stronger answer than words. After tidying up his costume, Chen Zheyuan looked at Li Qin with a gaze that could only be described as that of someone who truly cared. There was no anger, no tension, only such deep concern that even Li Qin couldn't help but feel it. She was forced to look down to hide the small smile that appeared without her realizing it. This wasn't the first time she had seen Chen Zheyuan show concern, but it was the first time she had seen it this brightly, this dominantly, this clearly, and witnessed directly by the entire crew. When other staff members approached to ask if Li Qin was ready, Chen Zheyuan spontaneously shifted his body slightly, just enough to give the impression that he wanted to keep Li Qin at a distance from others. It wasn't excessive or rude, but it was enough to send the signal that he wanted to make sure Li Qin remained within his reach. The staff immediately understood and chose to slowly back away without asking any further questions. The director, watching from a distance, could only smile faintly and shake his head. He had long suspected that their closeness was not just a requirement of their roles. In several intense scenes, their chemistry always appeared natural, without much direction. There were even moments when the director wanted to cut the scene, but the two were still so immersed in their characters that the atmosphere felt too real to stop. Now, after seeing the small scene between them before filming, the director felt even more certain that there was something unspoken behind their professional demeanor. When the scene began, their interaction seemed more lively than usual. Their eyes met many times, and each time that happened, there was something indescribable, as if there was still a sweet tension left over from the previous incident. The crew who witnessed this found it difficult to focus on their respective tasks because they felt they were witnessing a relationship that was slowly but surely growing. After the scene was finished, when everyone was getting ready for a break, Chen Zheyuan was again near Li Qin, not in a suspicious or conspicuous position, but close enough to show that he wanted to make sure Li Qin was okay. When a staff member was about to bring a blanket to cover Li Qin from the wind, Chen Zheyuan took it first and put it on her slowly. Li Qin could only stare at him speechlessly, while several staff members glanced at each other with meaningful expressions. Rumors spread immediately throughout the day. Some claimed to have seen Chen Zheyuan paying attention to Li Qin since the morning. Others said the two had laughed together before filming began. Others said that Chen Zheyuan looked nervous when Li Qin was talking to a certain male staff member. No one knew which was true, but everyone agreed on one thing. Chen Zheyuan had asserted his territory in a very subtle, very elegant, yet undeniable way. Nevertheless, no one dared to bring up the incident directly. They knew Chen Zheyuan was a friendly and easygoing person to work with, but that day showed that there were certain boundaries that should not be crossed, especially when it came to Li Qin. His protective attitude was not something he was putting on. His body language, his gaze, his tone of voice, everything was so natural, as if it came from long-held feelings. For fans who heard this story from the crew's whispered gossip, that moment was like fuel that amplified the rumors of a special relationship between Chen Zheyuan and Li Qin. The two of them never confirmed anything, but behind-the-scenes moments like this made people believe even more that there was something more than just professional cooperation. It was the kind of attention that only appears when someone truly cares and doesn't want to lose someone they consider important. And until filming was complete, Chen Zheyuan remained within Li Qin's reach, never too far away, never completely leaving. It was as if he wanted to make sure that no other staff members got too close or dared to touch anything related to Li Qin. To some, this seemed like a sweet form of protection. To others, it was like the attitude of someone who secretly harbored love but didn't want to show it vulgarly. But regardless of which point of view was correct, one thing that couldn't be denied was Chen Zheyuan's expression at that moment. The expression of someone who had just conveyed a message without needing to say much. That Li Qin was someone he was protecting, someone he watches over, someone who is his. At least, that's the message conveyed by the way he treated Li Qin that day. A message that left the entire staff wondering if they had just witnessed the beginning of a real love story unfolding behind the scenes.